Welcome everybody to another episode of the Providence Lucha Talk. I'm your boy Jay Aguila.
And this Lucito.
And today we're here to talk about everything and anything about wrestling. Please be sure to follow us on our social media on the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter, Providence Lucha Talk, as well as your favorite podcast app to listen. Just Bing or Google Providence Lucha Talk. So it's we're recording the day before the new season of WWE. I think it's really important to talk about some of the new commentary team that's going to be added on to the roster. So if I could just
I think I got it down. I could
go ahead.
Yeah, so I know they did a bunch of moves. So they have the new Raw commentary team. It's going to be Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick. SmackDown is going to be Wade Barrett, Michael Cole. I think that's going to happen because Pat McAfee took the college thing.
He's going to be out for
a while.
Football season, but he'll be returning to continue his role in SmackDown.
So then basically Wade Barrett got an upgrade, so he went to SmackDown, and Booker T is going to NXT as a commentator, and Vic Joseph. So
Booker T and who else?
Vic Joseph. So Vic Joseph staying. So it used to be Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett. So Wade Barrett's going to SmackDown.
The one person who I'm really excited that is going to be joining the Raw team is no other than Miss Kathy Kelly. She is returning as part of the interviewer, reporter throughout the show.
And I think this guy went to
along with Byron Saxton.
He got booted out. Yeah, that's what he's not booted out, but now he's going to the back.
Yeah, he's doing the backstage interview with Kathy Kelly. So I think that's
it's a better fit for him.
That's an A team. No, his role in Raw was good enough in commentary. He's very colorful. I think they'll still utilize him throughout the pay-per-view show, depending on who's there, who's not there. But Saxton helping out in the backstage. I think he's gonna bring a little bit of charisma, a little bit more like off-screen, performance, more to get more engagement. So that'll be fun. Similar stuff that like Kayla Braxton does with Paul Heyman. She has her bit without being, you know what I'm saying?
I think Braxton, I think he's gonna since he Saxton. Has Saxton, sorry. I'm thinking in my head probably thought about Tony Braxton or whatever. Yeah. I think he's gonna be better in backstage for me because I prefer for WWE a two-man team rather than a third. I feel that he was just used for in commentary as not a punchline, but he was just like the comedy dude, which is fine. But I feel with two you could feed off better and kind of focus more on one could be your play-by-play and the other one could be commentary. That's kind of how they set it up. And I think since he has more wrestling background because he used to be a performer before, I feel like he could not ask better questions, but I feel like he knows the performers a little bit better as the inside as a performer, as a wrestler.
Does that disqualify him being a commentary?
No, but I feel like him being backstage, the stuff that I feel like the timing, because I feel like his thing was I think it was him, Corey Graves, and Michael Cole. So I feel like he was just the punchline, the punching back for the other two. And I feel like if he's in the back, he has more flexibility to interact with other people. And I feel like he could pull more stuff from other wrestlers, for the interviews and stuff. And I feel there might be more ideas.
I agree and disagree. I agree because he has that charisma. So wherever you place him, he play any position on the field. So that's the good. I disagree because part of it is all the other commentary that's going to be working, unless if Kevin Fitzpatrick is a black man. They're all white. They're all white in UK. None of them are black. So
Booker T's the only one. What you mean for the main shows?
For Mondays and Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Booker T, I know Booker T is black.
They all no, but I don't know if
the guy said the word he dropped nigga in in his promo. He's blacker than black.
But I like that. I don't know how Booker, because he's been out of commentary. He only done the pre-shows or the pay-per-views.
But hold up.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
With Saxton being out of the main show, to me, I just don't agree with that in the sense that out of all the commentary, he still give that charisma, that colorful detail into the commentary compared to the others. Michael Cole, I mean, he does the best he can, but when there's that space gap, the voice you hear mostly is Saxton versus anybody else. Corey only got like roasting. He just roasts people and just follow Q. Michael Cole, like I said, he's been an OG. He needs someone else younger to kind of like balance him out. Let's see, Wade Barrett, here or there.
I feel like Wade Barrett's like a European McAfee. Yeah. But toned down. But like I feel when he was doing NXT, he was basically more kind of like not like rooting for a certain type. Like he picks. Yeah. So it works in NXT. I don't know how it's going to translate to the main. Especially he's going to be in SmackDown. It's just sad I'm not going to see more representation on commentary, but I know that Kayla and / Byron are going to kill it in the backstage. So that's like my 2 cents on it. Booker T, I mean, you were saying like it's been a while, so he's back. He's only done the pre-show, so it's good to see him on a weekly basis. Yeah, that's
what you were saying.
But I don't know how he's Booker T, so he's gonna be good at anything he does. But I'm curious how it's gonna be the first couple of weeks, because I don't know if he's relevant, not relevant, but if he is knowledgeable or has been keeping up with NXT. He probably has, because there's a lot of people from his school going to NXT. Mm-hmm. But you could tell the difference when people are not aware or know who the people are, who they're commentating on. So it's learning curve. So he potentially knows, behind the scenes what's going on, but it's, something different. I think Booker T for NXT, it gives you a superstar at commentary. I know Wade Barrett was, but he was kind of like he was partial to certain people, which is fine. But Booker T, I feel like it might elevate that show to make it up. Well, at least in the commentary part.
No, but what Booker T is going to do is just give more, just variety, more, again, the colorfulness to it. Just give it more flavor, more spice. Is he going to be biased with certain individual? I believe he is. But is he going to be like shun everyone else? No. I think he's just going to be a bit more fairness compared to Bray. Bray going to SmackDown still is just a little bit wonder in my eyes, because like you probably going to get like Legado de Fantasma.
Mm-hmm. That's all it's reported for that tomorrow.
They're going to SmackDown, so like he's not going to bring that type of like flavor when they're mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Like SmackDown is again who? Cole and
Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. And I feel Wade Barrett I think it might help Legado a little bit, because you've seen them in NXT perform from the inception, when it was just I think it's Hijo de Fantasma all the way to now,
right?
And all the feuds. So I feel like he could give Cole some like background on that faction.
He could be informative, but I don't think he's going to be that excited to hear.
Yeah,
the excitement in his voice to me, it's just not going to be. I don't think it's going to be felt. I think a third person's more in the Latin type of Anitha's nationality would be more suitable at times, because you still got Garza, you still have Humberto, you're gonna have the Legado Fantasma. You're probably gonna bring some other Hispanic people into it. You know what I'm saying? So why not just get that like a Latin commentary person as well?
Yeah, and I feel like the commentary that they have for Latin, they either retired or they've done. I know I think Hugo Savinovich, and there's another guy that normally does the Spanish commentator.
Yeah,
they were part, but I feel like they focus more on when they do the translation and stuff. So I don't think I've seen in a while, and I would say early 2000s. I guess for the past 20 years, I don't think I've seen a Latin American commentator.
Which I believe should be a representation. You know what I'm saying? In the sense, if it's possible, but I don't know. Let's see how Wade does. Yeah. I don't want to like fully write him off. Be like, yeah, he's gonna be so, so mild tone when he's talking. It's like none. I'm just hoping he has just a little bit more charisma.
Yeah, absolutely. NXT, he's shown more personality than what he did as a performer.
Okay.
So in NXT, I know he's very partial to Mandy, which I don't like blame him, but Everybody else.
You're not awful that Mandy does. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. It's like, all right, we get it, but guess what? She got a ring on it. Are you still gonna go crazy for her? Are you?
She's Mandy.
No, she's just a girl.
Yeah,
that's all she got.
That's all right.
Blonde. Brown.
Just now she's a brunette. Yeah.
She went brunette or brown?
She's brunette's brown.
Doesn't change a thing, guys. Does not change a thing. Yeah. What does change is though that Zoe Starks and the Lioness. Why I keep forgetting Nikita Lioness are tag team contenders for the NXT Women Tag Team Championship.
Good.
It's
they need to win it.
They need to win it.
Yeah.
You think the current one, Kata and
Kaden Carter,
Katana.
Yeah.
You think they
Katana Chance as it is. Yeah. They're good for social media, and they do TikTok and stuff. So they're in tune with the younger crowd that follow NXT. Mm-hmm. But if you want legit like champions or contenders or whatever, these are the ones. And eventually we could see, like we've been talking about the Survivor Series, they maybe could have, NXT versus the tag team division. Mm-hmm. I would personally prefer Lions and Starks versus Control, or even Toxic Attraction versus Control rather than Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. It'll be more competitive. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, they're good, but they're not like main eventers. Like they're not like they're good, but they just I wouldn't want, for me, if I was booking, I wouldn't want them as that Survivor Series like tag team division match.
I agree that Katana and her tag team partner are not, the most known name or top performer in the wrestling business. Of course, Lioness is getting her pop because of her moves and the gift that the Lord had blessed her with. Stark has been in the game for,
and I feel like for Nikita Lion, it's more marketing than substance.
She's a nine candy. Yeah. I get that, but I don't know. Between Control. Oh wait, there's only one tag team. Yeah.
Controls. I
thought there were two, but there's just one. Yeah. So Control versus Toxic Attraction. I think that would be fun. I think that would be more suitable for Survivor Series versus Lion and Starks. I don't know. I'm kind of like, because if Mandy is part of the triple threat match, then I prefer to have Toxic Attraction.
But Mandy will go against the champion. She wouldn't go against Bailey. But we'll see what happens for
representation purposes. I would just say like Mandy is doing the women's triple threat match, and then you have Toxic Attraction.
So it fits better for like packaging. The same thing how you have the Usos bloodline, like keep everybody together and like go. But because a lot of things could happen we'll probably talk about a little bit about Survivor Extreme Rules, but maybe Bailey you could have a full Control versus Toxic Attraction for Survivor Series and Liv or Rousey.
So I don't know, because in order for Mandy to win the SmackDown Championship, she has to pin Ronda or Liv.
No,
for the belt.
What do you mean? Liv, it's because if we do the Survivor Series, which will happen next month, so NXT at the moment it's Mandy Rose,
right?
And Extreme Rules that's happening this weekend, it's gonna be Bianca Belair and Bailey. That's for the Raw, and then
match,
and you also have Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey.
The Extreme Rules, yeah. So far, what we know is that Bailey does have her match with Bianca Belair, as you stated. You also stated that Liv Morgan have her match with Ronda Rousey.
Correct.
Any other add-ons to the pay-per-view?
I checked today. I think they have the matches in stone, because it's this Saturday or Sunday for Extreme Rules. But I don't think they did. The only thing they added was adding Daniel Cormier as a special guest referee for the pin match, which is good.
Left field. Like, what the hell?
I think they might build eventually. This could lead to a potential match with Daniel Cormier against Brock Lesnar.
It's October 8th, so it's this
Saturday.
Yeah.
So I think the Cormier being the referee kind of that's like might get him into the business of the WWE, and potentially you could have a Brock Lesnar like a one-off or something, or the Saudi Arabia match or something.
This was completely left field personally, because like I would have either surprised us with his like presence, or had a story building up for why he's part of this particular match, like making the announcement that he's partaking in Extreme Rules. To me, I'm just a bit. It
just needed something, because
like what I'm trying to say, it just doesn't. It's not as fulfilling as if you would have told me that, let's say Brock Lesnar retired, and you'd be, Brock Lesnar is going to be special. No. Brock Lesnar knows the business.
It's a weird build-up. They could have done like a podcast, and
it was a weird
announcement. And Rollins could have like said something to Cormier, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna jump in or something. Like they could have done the Helwani podcast or something, Cormier or something. But it was weird how they approached it. But I feel they needed some type of celebrity or something into that pay-per-view.
I again, nothing against DC. I'd rather you not telling me that he was going to be in the pay-per-view versus you telling me that he's in the pay-per-view.
And you not show up, but like the day up, like on the pre-show, hey, we have.
I would have been like, hey, special guest referee in this match. I would have made it unknown, because even if the internet figure it out, I would still rather see it with my own two eyes than you verifying that, he's in the match, because now it doesn't have that same type of excitement. Mm-hmm. I rather, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't hit the same of you telling me what's going to happen versus me wonder what's going to happen. The mystique is not there. It's just like, I don't know if anyone else feels the same way as I do, but it's just like, all right, he's DC. Okay, like, does he knows the referee rules? Does he knows like what part of his job is with the earpiece and giving like the information out throughout the match? Does he knows how to sell the count? Does he knows how to take a bump if he get hit during this match? Because there's a great chance that, hey, someone might miss their cue and swing by mistake. Can he sell that? There's a lot of different element to this that I'm just like, you should have just surprised me. Matter of fact, you should have brought Shaq. Just bring you gave me Shaq into this. Shaq his head would have been on the second level of that freaking cage.
There would have been no UFC or MMA or cage match connection to Shaq. Like the Brock Lesnar, fine, I see that. Or would have brought somebody
if he was retired.
Or brought somebody else that was like MMA or fighting, but there was nobody else available at the moment. Like if I would have said Ken Shamrock, fine, bring him. Kurt Angle, fine. A little
did it the last time. I wouldn't mind that.
So,
but again, Kurt Angle supposedly is losing his mind. So I'm not sure how true that is. So I guess that was a little bit of a risk taken. I mean, I would.
Cause Shamrock wouldn't be too bad.
I would have tried to convince Stone Cold, if it's possible, just to be a ref. I would have convinced him. I would have made partnership with RVD because it's Extreme Rules.
Yeah, but then there'll be a bias between him. There'll be not 2 against 1, but like he might be more partial to Riddle. Like you want somebody like neutral.
What? Okay. How? Okay. Wait. What?
Because
how is Rob Van Dam going to be partial to Riddle, who have no correlation in their career?
Yes, they've been high or whatever promos together, and like they've done things together. So there's like putting people together that have like the same nature together.
You're the ref, it's understandable that you have to be like you have to go on the line. He's not gonna just be like, nah, Seth. It's I know it's the count of 3, but Matt Riddle is he's not gonna do that. The most that we want is like Rob Van Dam is a person who was extreme. I don't know how much extreme he could do in his body right now, but if he could put himself in that match in some type of weird way, bro, that would be amazing. Plus, we could also have that type of match where, it was like Triple H versus it's not Shawn Michaels because Shawn Michaels was the referee. Maybe it was Undertaker or so. That as soon as Triple H is about to get the W, Shawn Michaels does a super kick, boom, and then Undertaker took out Shawn Michaels, and then a ref from all the way down the freaking from the back, Gorilla just ran down and did the count, and then Shane came out of nowhere. It's we could have had a lot of different fun with this.
That stuff, I think the Cormier's fine because I feel like he's part UFC. They're trying to keep somebody cage match situation. I feel like them three are gonna be in that catch.
It's not fair because Riddle and DC are UFC fighters.
Yeah, but there's nothing that connects them besides just UFC fighting. Okay, but basically
doesn't really make the person either.
Basically, Riddle and RVD are the same people 20 years later. It's just
what?
It's like putting, if you don't put Triple H,
Riddle if you put frog splash from 10 feet away.
It's the same gimmick between the two.
RVD is more extreme versus Matt Riddle.
Yes, but they are the same, not the same people, but they're the same. It's like putting, if you put Triple H as a referee, he has some thing towards Seth Rollins. I'm gonna say he's gonna help him.
He doesn't, because we saw that he did the pedigree on Seth Rollins for Kevin Owens to become the second Universal Champion. What are we talking about?
That would have been them too. That's no. Nah.
What are we talking about?
I think DC, it's fine how it is. The way they approached it, they should have, like you mentioned, they should have left it until the pay-per-view. But DC, it's fine.
Mystique, right? But
DC's fine.
What are we talking about though?
No. DC's fine.
Triple H would have been fair to Seth Rollins. No, he wouldn't. He doesn't even care about him anymore like that. I mean, he's happy that he's still part of the company.
That's his golden boy. That's his boy.
Yeah, but they know how to work with each other. And Triple H would have made it more interesting. I think Triple H would pedigree both, walked out, and let a third party ref just join in and then let him take over. That's how crazy Triple H would be.
DC's fine. I think they trying to put DC on TV or a pay-per-view and stuff just to build him with another match. Probably the Brock Lesnar or somebody else. Does
this make or destroy DC career?
Neither. It just doesn't. He doesn't. It depends what comes out of this. Because if
break it down,
if he, for example, if this referees, he does his thing, 1, 2, 3, bye. Everybody goes their own thing. If he has a match with, let's say, I would like to see him against Brock Lesnar. We didn't get to see that in UFC. I wouldn't mind seeing it in WWE, but
I don't.
It depends how it comes. That's not gonna affect his UFC career because he's a Hall of Famer. He's done what he got to do, but I wouldn't mind seeing him, Brock Lesnar, him in a match. Similar to what we had for AEW with a while back with Jake Hager and Warlow, the UFC cage match situation. Something like that, I wouldn't mind seeing. And I bet you people from Saudi Arabia, that the show that they do, they wouldn't mind paying for that. Brock Lesnar and DC.
First of all, it doesn't matter what the people want. It would the prince
he
want.
Probably will pay for that.
The prince want.
Yeah, he probably will pay that. Yeah,
he got that money.
Yeah.
I don't like the narrative you just told me. I don't. It's sour in so many ways. Why would I want to see
either that
something that could have been done in a real, I don't want to say in the octagon.
Yeah.
I was gonna phrase it wrong, but what if I could not see them in their prime in the octagon? Why would I want to see them in their post 40 years life trying to make this attempt in a ring?
We got that, and it's a lot worse. We see that with Undertaker and Goldberg. And we watched it, and we paid for it.
That is my point.
No, but they're giving it to us.
The formula, if the match showed us that if you're past a certain age and you are attempting to do a performance that should have done years ago, we should not be seeing it at all, unless if it's on the video game, which you could buy on the store. No promo, yes promo. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If it's not in the video game, why on God green earth would I want to see in live action? Why would I want to see a person, God forbid, worst case scenario, be paralyzed?
But I don't think they're professional enough not to injure each other.
First of all, do we not know that there's risk when you're wrestling?
Correct. But they're more.
Did we not forget how Stone Cold was not able to wrestle anymore?
Yes, but they're more technically professional trained than Goldberg only knows 4 moves. And he can't do them anymore.
We're not even talking.
No, but I'm saying, but
Goldberg should not even be mentioned anymore. When we talk about Saudi Arabia, Goldberg and Undertaker, those three should never be mentioned in the same breath ever again.
It happened.
Never again. We don't talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. We don't talk about this. You know what I'm saying? That should be a no-no. So again, if the formula shown, the math, 50 plus, 50 plus, in a different country did not work, why would we think it's going to work with two people, one who done pro wrestling, one who has not, in the ring in front of millions of people? All it's going to be is a botch or a terrible injury, God forbid. I don't see that happening. It's not a good thing.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm not. Bro, I would like to. I would like to see that.
No. Why would you want to see two old gallos going at it?
But we've seen them every other show, and it's been okay.
What other show?
We've seen that in AEW. We've seen old gallos going at it. It's been super slow, but we've seen it.
And what we do with it? We roast their ass because it doesn't work. If you're referring to the Kingston versus the dude from New Japan, it was not. That was not favorable. If we're talking about Chris Jericho versus
Jericho against Bandito. He looked Jericho looked old. You had CM Punk, and
he also did it with his.
But they did it
when he did his 30 or 40
and also not to be greedy or nothing. But wouldn't you want to see it to talk about it?
No, I would have loved to talk about it when they were in their prime.
Yeah, but their contracts or their past didn't match because DC either retired. He was
before. Why would I want to see?
But it's not. It didn't work before. It was just their past never met because you had DC as a light heavyweight and you had Brock Lesnar. Then he was a commentator. Brock Lesnar was done. So money didn't talk at that moment because it's not like they didn't want to do it.
That's UFC.
No, but I'm saying, but it's not like
card.
Yeah, but it's not like they.
So why
it's
are
not,
we getting the consequence that UFC couldn't deliver?
Because it's sports entertainment.
How is it possible that Amanda is able to fight Ronda Rousey now that she's past her prime, right? Mm-hmm. Well, she was already over the peak.
Yeah.
Still fought her, won, versus me seeing DC and Brock Lesnar now. You see
money. It was just the money issue.
The money was there, my guy. People wanted to see DC and Brock Lesnar, but nobody really wanted to see old men past their prime in a ring. We're talking,
but that's.
If it was
I'm saying that's professional wrestling,
boxing,
but that's professional wrestling.
If it was boxing, UFC, go for it. Why would I want to see it in the wrestling ring?
But you've seen that in the wrestling ring before.
And I don't want it anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want that.
That's what sports entertainment.
That thought. I rebuke that thought. I wish that thought was never mentioned. I wish your 5 minute of this conversation never existed. Because
let them talk. See who they let the comments go and see who if they think it's a good idea or not.
It's like me saying, do you want to see Triple H and The Rock again?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think they're still fit?
They can't get into shape.
Are they past their prime?
Well, The Rock is in shape. Triple H, he's off his body. He's different, but they can't. They're past their prime. They could still do it.
Are they past their prime?
Yeah.
And you want
if Ric Flair could still have a match? If the what's the other guy?
You did not bro Ric Flair.
He's way past his prime. If Sting can still do it. What's the other? The tag team is not the Rock and Roll Express. No, it's a Rock and Roll. They still doing it. You have people still doing it. So that's not your cup of tea, that's fine.
That's not my cup of tea. You're right. It is not.
It is sport.
Too much sweetness. Not enough
It's still
honey.
sports entertainment.
It's terrible.
It's still
I don't
sports
like
entertainment.
It's watery tea, and I don't want that shit. Wow.
But it's still sports entertainment. It
is. You know what? You are right. You are right. It is sport entertainment, but not the entertainment that I want to witness. That would be my bathroom break.
You could take that would
be my bathroom break.
You could take Big Frank's thing, go to the bathroom, take a break or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't come up with that shit. I did.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like he won. I'm like, all right, so that match,
when we was watching, he made a big announcement. Okay, now it's time for me to go to the bathroom. Like, shut the fuck.
But I wouldn't mind seeing it. That's just me bucking it. I don't think that could be an approach that they could take, but I don't know. Because we've seen the boxer dude from the heavyweight champion go. I think that he go against was a Braun Strowman. Somebody he was part of the a tag team, and he had no. You should not have no business in the ring. and he was a boxer. So there was people that you put in the ring that have no business in the ring, being in the ring, but they're entertaining you. So
they're not entertaining nobody. Nobody was excited with the Jericho match versus Homeboy for his 100th match or whatever it was, like 2 years ago during the pandemic. Nobody was excited about the Jericho versus Bandito. Nobody was excited about Brock versus Cain Velasquez, if that ever even made it happen. Nobody was excited to see Old Man Shaq on the ring trying to take bumps.
But it was there for entertainment. It was not a spectacle, but it was part of entertainment. You have to. It's name recognition. It was a spectacle. It's part of the show. If it's not that, it's, it could be your preference of not like a style or look or whatever, but it's...
See, if you would have said, well, you mentioned RVD, and RVD is past his prime, but the one thing about RVD versus like the previous names that we mentioned is that RVD is one, a pro wrestler, and two, a crazy motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He will do a frog splash at his age just to give us that. Like, there's people who are willing to risk their body for the moment, somewhat like Ric Flair, but I really don't want him.
But you know what I'm saying, it might not be like your cup of tea, but it could happen. It could be a possibility. It's money too. It's business.
So going back to the main topic, the reason why we're down this rabbit hole is because my co-host right here mentioned that there is a possibility in the near future, maybe a WrestleMania. I'm just adding on from here, but maybe in a WrestleMania, we might see DC, former heavyweight champion of the UFC, versus Brock Lesnar, former heavyweight champion of UFC, in a match for our entertainment, or maybe in Crown Jewels in a future say of entertainment. Do you agree with this? Please comment down below. I hope you guys have the right mind. Please don't be high, intoxicated, or any type of influence in your body. Be as clear mind when you're making this comment, because honestly, wow, no.
But yeah, so I think they have the Extreme Rules. Most of them are already set. But yeah, so like they have that one, the Riddle Rollins with Daniel Cormier. They have McIntyre and Cross and a strap match, Edge and Finn, I Quit match. Basically Sheamus' group against Imperium and Becky, Belair, and Liv and Rousey.
All right, so let's do a quick prediction for this. It seems like the Ronda match is the highlight.
Probably either that or the Belair one. But basically, one of the women's title will be the ending.
All right, so in the 6-man tag team, good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, the Brawling Brutes versus the Imperium. Who do you have as the winner?
I got the Imperium taking that one.
I also see the Imperium because I don't see Gunther taking a loss yet. He's been killing it. I'm proud of you, boy. In the I Quit match between Edge versus Finn Balor, part of Judgment Day, who do you think is yelling I quit?
It's going to be Edge saying I quit.
All right. I also see Edge. I'm also predicting that his wife is going to be in a match, part of the match as well, being the equalizer to Rhea Ripley, but it would not be enough.
And I think it's going to be a numbers game over there. It's going to be 4 against basically 2 or 3.
If you're including AJ Styles, yeah, number in
maybe
Rey Mysterio, yeah, it's still Finn Balor getting the saying I quit. Ladder match: Bianca Belair versus Bayley, with both of Asuka and Alyssa Bliss in control being in their corners. Who do you have for that match?
I want Bayley.
You want Bayley?
Yeah, I want her to be the representative for Survivor Series, and we need a little change too.
I'm gonna check one quick fact check about Miss Bianca Belair. So right now she is a one-time champion on both sides of the blue and the red of the brand. So her losing it to me doesn't hurt her. Maybe give her a little bit of hunger for the belt. So I am with you on this route. Bayley for the win, because I need a build up from Bianca's character. Yeah. You got to push her a little bit more to see what else she's going to do. And maybe Alexa Bliss might go a little bit wonky depending on what happens throughout the events. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross.
I gotta go with my guy Karrion Kross, and I think Scarlett would affect the match, and we might see something coming out of the Right Rabbit situation. I'm not saying it's Bray Wyatt, but something might generate from that match.
I could see the match being a no contender because of Bray Wyatt.
Like not DQ, but like no contest or whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
Like no contestant winner, because I believe that Bray is going to focus on Karrion Kross. I don't think Drew is no longer going to be part of that storyline. I don't think they have the creativity juice in their mind to continue with this battle between a dude who think he's beyond time versus a man who valor and is a warrior and willing to put the company on his back with a wielding sword. They don't got that much creative juice in them. I do see more creativity with Wyatt versus Karrion Kross. That has a lot of area. I could see Alexa Bliss joining, you know what I'm saying, this match, or helping out the Wyatt, being the equalizer if Scarlett tried to jump in. So I see no contestant. I do see could be the return of the Wyatt family 2.0, depending on what happened with Braun's situation.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. The Fight Pit match with Daniel Cormier as the special referee between Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins.
I got Rollins taking the win, and Riddle's going to be 0-2.
I think we already talked about this.
0-2 in the Fight Pit.
0-2. We had this conversation last week. For those who are new to the program, please jump to the last week episode and hear us out on why we believe Matt Riddle will lose once again. So 0-2 in the Fight Pit. And then most likely to be the last match is Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan. Extreme Rules match. What does Extreme Rules match mean? Is a no disqualification match, also known as no hold bars match, sometimes as anything goes match, a boot camp match, a good old fashioned
street fight,
Donnybrook match, a Raven Rules match, or an Extreme Rule match. Is a match which neither wrestler can be disqualified, allowing for weapons and outside interference. However, unlike the hardcore match, pinfall must be made inside of the ring. So with that I didn't know that the Donnybrook match was also Extreme Rules.
Yeah, I think they named it like that because they're Europeans, but
yep. Yo, that to me was funny.
I Liv Morgan.
Now how?
Liv Morgan, because it's Extreme Rules.
Okay, the only way Liv is going to win is by outside help. That's the only. Home. It could be from Charlotte.
I don't think Charlotte.
Charlotte was announced that she's going to be in New York.
Yeah, but she could be in New York, but doesn't mean I don't think she's gonna.
She's going to be working with Belair, and I think it was. I think Bayley was also in the card, or Alexa Bliss. It was like Alexa Bliss, Belair, and Charlotte working in New York in a couple of weeks from now. So yes, I do believe it could be Charlotte. Charlotte might want to get her rematch with Ronda, grab a few chairs or the kendo stick and whack her here and there.
But it could also be that she could still do that, have Rousey lose, her against Rousey beat her, and then she goes against Liv. You know what I'm saying? Like, not build more program out of that, but like her against Rousey, basically loser leaves or whatever. They've done that, like, I don't know, the loser leaves, so you could have Rousey.
Ronda was supposed to leave in her previous match. That never happened.
Yeah, she paid her dues.
Indefinitely never became definitely. Yeah. It just became.
So then you could build something with that, then have Liv Morgan against Charlotte, and Liv will drop the belt.
I wouldn't
want another Rousey title. Like, I feel like her sizzle just fizzled out. Like, it's just like, it's not.
I could see why is her name not appearing in my head? Queen of Ace.
Shayna Baszler?
Shayna Baszler. I could see her being part of a match which could give the green light for Charlotte to get involved to be more of the equalizer, but not in favor for Liv Morgan, but just to be like, hey,
against So even out,
I'm the baddest. I'm the true baddest around. I can see that happening. I don't see Raquel being involved at all. Nope. I would love for her to be involved.
Nobody else, and there's the other person from Riot Squad. I don't think she's in the roster.
Sarah?
Yeah, I don't think she's. She came during Royal Rumble.
Yes,
but I don't think she's in the roster, so she's not gonna.
And if she is, she's probably still like in the performance center working on her.
And Ruby Soho just started surgery and she's AEW, so there's nobody else.
No, she has a broken nose too.
Yeah, so but like, so there's no. I think because of Extreme Rules, Liv will like that might help her out because you could have weapons and your Webster dictionary, like she could use everything, and she's shown a little edginess on her last couple of matches. Like she's done the swanton, I think senton bomb on the table on what's her name, when she had a match. So she's showing you that she's been able to get the little like extra. So I feel like that should be enough plus Extreme Rules to go against Rousey. I think Rousey is going to focus on more like joint manipulation, more UFC things, and the weapons will help her, but she don't need it. Liv Morgan will that will help her out because the last time she won it by DQ, like kind of like by cheating. So now cheating is allowed. So it's like, do your thing, go crazy.
Cheating is allowed. Do I still see Liv Morgan winning the match? There's like an 80. I'm like 55% that she's winning the match with the help of Charlotte. On her own, it's more of like a 45, giving Ronda more of the ups and giving the big pops for Charlotte. I still believe this is the night of two return. Bray, Charlotte. Two big names that, because, like I said, this is the night before the new season of WWE season to start. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a big way to start with the bang, Okay. Besides, with the Bloodline going to SmackDown, to Raw, and then you need other names to like fulfill those spots. Yeah. So who else are you going to fulfill? But that's why I think with getting, it's not going to make the same like impact. But that's why probably they're debuting Legado to fill those like tag team and main event spot for the roster. Okay. I love my Latin brethrens and all, but I don't believe they're yet like top seeded people.
Santos Escobar. I said main event. I'm not saying he's champion. I just main event. He's not an undercard. He's not a mid card. I said main event.
When was the last time we ever saw like a cruiserweight run a main event?
Rey Mysterio.
Last time.
No, but it has happened. And the same thing, Eddie Guerrero. He did it. He was a cruiserweight.
He was.
Jericho. He was a cruiserweight, and he was running the thing.
Again, when have we like
they have done it, and
they have done it. Yeah. Yes,
I'm not saying just main event. Like I'm not saying he's gonna win title picture or nothing. He's a main eventer with a group. So you're moving people around.
The most we're gonna see is Hit Row versus them again.
No, they're not gonna be in that level. We'll go through them, but they're not. Then I would say they're more of a like Sheamus and Imperium situation.
The top dog for the top, like in the men locker room right now is Drew McIntyre. He ain't going nowhere. I could see AJ Styles probably coming to SmackDown, possibility, because then that would give him a little bit more.
But you think they're gonna start? I don't think they're switching people around. I think the only people that
already moved the Bloodline to Raw. They're
doing double duty. Doesn't mean they're.
No, they said like they're gonna be in Raw, stationed in Raw. New home is Raw. That was the promo. Is on the WWE account.
Okay.
Like that's the reason why you're seeing them more on Raw than SmackDown, because they're trying to make that slow transition of like, we're not getting the shakeup as like the traditional way, but we are going to see like new faces in different places. That's all we're going to see. So if Roman is not going to be the face of SmackDown and he's going to help out Raw, that means Drew and other people, Gunther, I don't think Gunther is going anywhere, are the top dog. For the women division, is like, who?
For SmackDown, you have, at the moment, the champion and maybe Ronda Rousey. Those are your top two.
I don't want Ronda. I'd rather have
No, but I'm saying, but those are your currently.
I would rather have Charlotte just be that name, or surprise us maybe surprise us sooner than later with the Sasha and Naomi return.
Yeah.
One of those two would be great, unless if they bring them for Extreme Rules. I wouldn't mind that, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's more like, why would I be watching SmackDown? Like, give me a reason why to watch. That's my question to W. Like, why am I going to watch SmackDown if the main person who I'm supposed to acknowledge is now going to be on Monday for me to like see what he's going to do there?
We gotta see. I don't know how it's gonna shake up, but like you mentioned, yes, McIntyre. I feel he could be. So you have McIntyre, Gunther, Sheamus up there, Kieran Cross. And I feel like you could throw in Santos Escobar in that mix, because there's really nobody else like in the roster that's like. And also you need some type of, I don't know how much impact he's gonna do tomorrow if they ended up debuting. So we'll see how that team, shakes it up.
We'll definitely see. We talk more about WWE than AEW.
AEW is a mess. It's bad. I think they were listening to our last episode based on your opinion of last show, that if you really wanted to get off your contract, do anything that you can to get off your contract. And I think Andrade took your words in action, because he's tweeted on Instagram that he wants out on Instagram, on Twitter and everything. Free Andrade. Then he basically confronted Sammy, which is valid. You're talking shit. I'm gonna face to face.
For those who don't know what's going on in that aspect, real quick, it seems like during a match between Andrade and Sammy, when they were working each other, Sammy seemed to be complaining that Andrade hit too hard during the match. So Andrade went on Twitter and he said, bro, if I hit you, please hit me back. Yeah. This is something that I never heard in my career. I have worked with the greats in WWE and so forth. Mm-hmm. So you should have taken care of it there. And I went to you and you didn't say nothing. Mm-hmm. Sammy responded saying, go back to WWE. So that's the background drama. We'll continue on.
But then, so they had Andrade confronted him. There was, I think there's two reports, one saying that Sammy started it and Andrade finished it, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. But they basically have a confrontation, another confrontation for AEW after trying to settle down the all-out situation. Now you have this one, which is whatever. But then Andrade got pulled from a match that was supposed to have tomorrow on Rampage. It was supposed to be Career versus Mask, and him against 10, and that got caught off. And sort of good for 10. Now they have a trios championship match against the trios, basically Death Triangle versus a Dark Order, which is good for them. They could potentially win it because it is Brody Lee's last match, like anniversary or whatever of AEW. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I didn't like how they handled the situation, because all right, you send Andrade home, fine. They had a fight, whatever. I would have sent them, both of them home, but you basically rewarded Sammy by putting him in the main event on the tag team division and taking the pin over Garcia on the match. So it's like a double whammy. And I'm like, it doesn't look good for you, because you didn't handle CM Punk's situation. You didn't know how to handle this. And Andrade, I would just, like you mentioned, do whatever you got to do to get off your contract, do it. And it's not, and I feel bad because it was him and Rouge were building something good, and I feel bad for Rouge that it's like, all right, he's solo, which is good and bad. Now he can focus on kind of main event stuff rather than tag team, but they had a good thing going, I think, as like a company, like them too. Staple, right? Yeah.
Because honestly, they lost Butcher and the Blade. They lost
I think Bonnie. Number 5 for number 5. I think it was 5. Yeah, from Dark Order.
Oh, whoa. I was talking about Andrade's incorporation group.
Oh, Private Party's still there. He was in control of them, but not really.
Like Private Party, he lost control. He lost Butcher and the Blade, and the Bunny.
Was it HMO? Was it hard? Yeah, basically the HMO, they just all disbanded.
They all disbanded. Dark Order, we lost Stu, 5. I think Uno.
No, Uno's still there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, if anyone saw the match between Evil Uno and Stu versus the Impact champion, I believe it was, can you let me know what was the result? I have not found it in my It was a big flyer thing.
Okay.
It was in the independent thing, and they were going at it, and I could not find the result. I just wanted to know if Dark Order won or not. But okay, so Uno's still there. -1 is still there too because he has that lifetime contract, whatever. So yeah, I mean it makes sense. Like disband them from the crew. Have homeboy work. What's his name again?
Rouge, yeah.
Rouge?
Yeah.
Wow, get over there. Have Rouge work on his own. Yeah. Build his
because he did it in Ring of Honor, and he was he did it in Ring of Honor. He was the last Ring of Honor champion before Bandito. So he lost it to Bandito, but he was a Ring of Honor champion. Yeah. So he could do it. He knows how to do it. He's been able to do it.
Yeah. So build up in Dark. Get your ranking up, and then get your story up align for Rampage. I think that's going to be a nice sweep because I think Rampage is more for TNT versus actual AEW star. My personal take on it, but we could go back and forth on it. And do what you got to do. Andrade just want to show that maybe AEW, the grass is not greener on the other side. At first it was.
I feel like they got AEW got to. Basically, they ended up getting the same problem that WWE had. Now they had too many people on retainer that you don't have enough. They had too much of a roster and not enough time for TV. And now they have the issue that WWE had, that it's like everybody's fighting for time, which is fine, but you're not it's tough.
I think they should have group of people stay in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Jacksonville, Florida. The Daily Palace.
Yeah, Daily's place.
Daily Place. Have them perform there. Just let them be across from NXT Performance Center. Have them go toe-to-toe. Fight for Florida for all we care, because none of us really give a damn too much about Florida unless we retire. But just have them go back and forth. Have those group. Build elevation. Build Dark. You know what I'm saying? Do shows that are going to attract people.
But you kind of could do that through Ring of Honor and basically do Ring of Honor. Not Ring of Honor NXT, but
hey, bro, you can put Ring of Honor in Florida for all I care. My point is, take those group of people. You know what I'm saying? Put them there. Have a constant programming for them. You know what I'm saying? I think you told me Elevation is on Daily Place, right?
Yeah, they do the YouTube thing,
So build Elevation to where it needs to be. So that way, once we see the numbers and we see who the true star are, then you start making moves. Be like, all right, you're called to go to Rampage. You're called to do, because honestly, if you have all these pieces all over the places and they're not really fitting well with one another, you got to start from a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the foundation is cracked. Yeah. I'll show you the video. Ethan Page, a long time ago when Scorpio Sky was champion, he said to Sammy Guevara, you are a crack to the locker room, and because of you, part of you is the reason why, I'm paraphrasing, is the reason why this company is not going to proceed, because you're not good for business. Yeah.
And the thing is tough that he's affiliated with one of the pillars of the company that it's like, you're not gonna, Jericho's not gonna get rid of him. That was he was handpicked by Jericho.
Understood.
So until Jericho, he does something to Jericho, he's not dumb enough to do that. I feel like
or is he?
You would never know how it's gonna play out, but Jericho will get his back. I feel like he's one of his faction, his group. So I feel like he's gonna get his, even he kept them all the way from his first faction until the Inner Circle until now. So I feel like that's his
He also kept Hager, but it doesn't mean that he's good for business. It just means he just have favorable people. Yeah. But favorable people doesn't mean that's going to take you to success, because there are parts that didn't work before. Now you're trying to make it work now. I don't think there's going to be a hinge. Yeah. There's something that's going to throw off the rail of this machine that Jericho had in mind with these two individuals, and it's just going to fall down and derail. It's not going to work out in my eye.
I think
Sammy Guevara, needs a break from TV in general. I don't care if he's recently married. He's the AAA.
He's the mixed tag team, whatever.
With his wife. Yeah. You guys should not be in TV for a while. Disappear. Pretend that you broke a leg or something. You're injured. Take the rest of the year off. Have Chris Jericho work well with Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Have Jericho work with the remaining of his appreciation group, so that way people will be able to fully understand the whole vision of Jericho. Because right now there's just too many things that's going on. Like even with the Page.
Hangman Page or
Hangman Page with
the Dark Order
with John Moxley.
Yeah,
that right there is just like, bro, it doesn't have that same type of flair.
And it's not, that's a little too late for when they had like they're really trying to push basically your safety nets at Hangman, which is good for him, but like his time not passed, but it's like throw somebody else at that title because I think he's gonna Hangman Page. I don't think he's gonna win the title from Moxley. I don't think.
No.
So
he's
there's
a
really
sacrifice lamb.
There's nobody else at the moment that like could get up to the point.
The one person I could see to take the belt away from Moxley will be Omega. The only person logically in my head is Omega, because Omega has that. He's also a pillar to the company. He is one of the most exciting wrestler in wrestling business. He's still shown that he's willing to work with anybody. And one of his greatest feud in AEW has been with John Moxley versus anyone else.
And I feel Omega, if he ends up being eventually the champion, he could work better with other people than Moxley. Because his styles, it's more suitable. He could go against Adam Cole, he could go against Ospreay, Jay White, or whatever, and he has more connections to other people than Moxley.
I'm gonna get the belt collector Omega.
No, I
would be like, you know what? Maybe I spoke too soon.
No. But I think that phase already happened.
Yeah, I need a working horse Omega, because that dude was like during the 2019, 2020. Yeah. Man was working, and I was like, "Yo, Kenny, do your thing, because I'm enjoying every bit of it." But
do you think, kind of segue into the belt collect thing?
Okay.
Do you think that FTR would collect the AEW title, the AEW tag team, because that claim are hot now? I would not even put FTR with that claim, and that promo that they did, basically that segment was great. It was. I feel like that show needed it because so much drama on the back, and I feel like they were able somehow, it was a mishmash promo, but they were able to put it together and like give you some comedy, but they were able to kind of like, I feel like this was the vision for the tag team division. So you needed somebody in-house, young, with charisma and skill to be able to be kind of like the spokespeople. And I feel bad for FTR because it's like their thing was like the belt collectors, but I don't think they'll sniff the AEW title in a while.
No, I to answer your question, no, I don't. I don't foresight FTR coming at the AEW champion. They should be working elsewhere, up in other promos, other organization. Impact would. I think they still have that match, that story. I'm not sure if it happened or not, but they still have that storyline to work with. There's other organization that might benefit more of FTR presence and style versus AEW. Because again, we said before, we're going to say 1,000 times until it gets better. It's a full sancocho. It's a mixed stew with all this stuff that it hasn't got the right flavor in for us to be like, yes, this is something that we enjoyed before. They messed up the ingredient, and now FTR is not the solution for it. Brian Cage coming back facing Warlock. That was a nice touch.
It was a good match. No background to it, but it was a good match.
Just a match, but not the solution. You know what I'm saying?
And also, like, I think it was weird. Like, it was a decent match between the two. I just personally didn't like. I think gonna have to build they were building basically the Ring of Honor matches that they had, but it was just weird that like you had FTR and Samoa Joe. I'm like, yeah, so you guys are cool, but it's just like you haven't done nothing on TV in a while. It's not their fault, but it was just like it just didn't mean anything. Like if both of them, Samoa Joe and the tag teams, were more active in presence of at least AEW, Rampage, or Elevation or whatever, cool. So then it's whatever. But I feel the Ring of Honor, the Embassy, which is the faction that I feel that they had the upper hand over them just by more presence because they've done more matches and had more presence in the shows than the champions themselves, which is kind of tough.
But still, not the solution. Yeah. My point is like they're trying to correct. Yeah.
Do you think that we need more new champions, or just need story?
First of all, let's start with the women division. Figure
which
out
one
in all.
Okay,
as a whole.
Okay,
the women division.
Yeah,
now, I'm not talking TBS or.
Do you think for the TBS,
as a whole, figure out who's going to work with who? Because what I saw there, I'm like, okay, if Britt is going to work with Saraya, then who is really going for Tony Jade or Tony? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that. Right, they kind of. You can't put them aside.
Yeah, Willow ended up being calling out Jade, which was good. I wouldn't mind. Jade. I don't know if they're trying to do the 15-0, the Goldberg thing. But I don't know who else gonna take down Jade.
Athena is number 37. No.
Athena was 38. She had Athena. No, 37. She just fought in the All Out.
Oh, 39. She's
38. 38.
And then Dinamita, she lost, and she was like.
So my bad. Yeah. So my bad. So 37 was and 38. Diamante is the 38. My 38, bad. Okay. But Willow could be the 1 and 38 and 1.
But again, going back to the main, if we have Britt and Saraya going toe to toe, like you just said, Tony and Jade, I don't want them to be cast out. I need them to be involved in some way. Like you make affiliation with them, or you build a story.
Yeah, they need to be not better promo, but they need to. That's what happened with the CM Punk thing. That not CM Punk, sorry. When Jericho and Kevin Owens were basically had a good program, but then you had John Cena and The Rock or whatever. There was another one. They basically took over. So you've seen things from the past not be better at your thing, but if you're a champion, put your foot down or be a better promo, or Toni Storm, like, because they still name her she is the interim champion, but like no. I am the champion. Kind of what Moxley said, like, I am the champion.
Can she? Like, does she has the voice? Do you see what I'm saying? Resolve that. Yeah. Your tag team so far, great pickup as your champion. Find great suitable tag team to dance with them and continue building great promo.
The trios is fine.
The trio is so far is doing well. So I don't want you to touch that. So far in this meal, we're agreeing that when it comes to tag team, multiple people being champion or in the division, that is your strong suit. Focus on that.
Yeah, and that's always been their strong suit, which is kind of tough.
The Atlantic division so far, I have no problem with him being double champion so far, because right now there's no one else. I wanted homeboy Orange Cassidy to be it, but that didn't occur. But build more of that division. Focus on that area. The TNT champion Warlow can have him continue facing big muscle heads.
There's nobody else. Was fun. It was good, but it was just like fun. There's nobody else.
Hey, they will figure it out. They'll figure it out, but continue having him.
He needs to have a more competitive match,
but.
To make him better.
Keep giving him match. Keep putting him on TV because he's still working. For TV.
He's doing his thing.
So that champion is good. Atlantic division working that.
FTW is fine.
Working well. Hook.
He's fine.
Doing his thing on Rampage. The AEW and so far the women division and the AEW division are just the two areas that just need to be, program better. Give better stories, give them better deliverance, give them better, understanding, hey, I'm watching this show because, yes, Moxley's champion, but his opponent is
doing what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just give me more
They
excitement.
just like story. That's the thing. It's like, it's tough.
Like, give me a reason to forget why Aaron Judge has broken the AL home run record. You know what I'm saying? And maybe try to go for 73. Maybe. I'm just speculating. You know, give me a reason why not to think of baseball while I'm watching AEW.
No.
That's what you guys gotta keep working on.
The Ring of Honor, it's fine. Don't touch that Ring of Honor stuff. It's for the championship. Jericho, good, like spearhead for that division, and Garcia, it's fine. They haven't highlighted too much on the tag team. They haven't highlighted on the tag team. The trios
focus on elevation though.
Yeah, but it's not. You don't see, which is fine. They're doing their thing. But it's not elevation. I'm saying it's enough for them, but it's like until you have a regular show, keep what they're doing. Then when you have a regular show, then highlight them more on the regular show. Because now it's too many titles at the moment, which is good and a bad thing. But it's Ring of Honor. It's fine. So it's just the main event, and the whole CM Punk situation messed up everything. Unfortunately, like
I mean, yes, CM Punk put a wedge into a lot of plans that AEW probably had, or maybe had no plan at all.
Yeah,
we don't know. Right now, I'm going to use the same line that Stephen A. Smith said about Irving and what he did in the past. The past is in the past. We got to focus. We got to be forward thinkers. Right now, what we were talking about what's working for them and how they continue to highlight, I think that's what AEW needs to do too, is just highlight, focus on what is good. Focus on what is good. Don't focus not what's so bad. Have a better GM, because Tony Khan should just be just the owner.
Because they could honestly, like, Shivani has some background, like, experience.
Anybody but Tony Khan to
bring Bischoff, and but like at least somebody.
Anybody that's not Tony Khan being the GM will be great for business. You do that, you're gonna save whatever hair you still have in your head.
I feel like delegate. Be able to delegate to whomever.
Delegate. The word of the night is delegate. All right, pass the work to someone else who might be more capable of doing it than you are. Because, like, honestly,
because I feel like it's tough, because like you as an owner can't have enough time to do everything.
And one tell you what I also don't like what we're doing. I don't like bashing AEW, because 2 years ago we were like celebrating them.
Yeah, the thing is, like, they set such, for me, it's like they set a bar for them that they're not meeting. So it's just like we already have at least 2 years. Your newness, like forgiveness about things, you're not new anymore. So now you're like a legit company or a show that, for me, I expect certain things from you guys. And it's just like, if you're not providing that, I have other alternatives. So like, I like watching, for example, sometimes you forget there's a Friday show, because it's like there's nothing for me to be like, oh, I'm gonna watch a Friday because this match or whatever. And it's just, I have other options. I have basically Monday, Tuesday, Fridays, and I watch those over the Friday show. And it's I don't know, make it not fun, but it's like, I feel like they are missing the love of, like, when the same love that you had, or like ambition you had in the beginning, you're losing it now. And it's just like, it's just getting, I don't know, it's I don't know, they I feel they're missing the love of the wrestling, or why they got into business for. It's tough.
So AEW, we after we had our little discussion here and there, please do better. That's what we're asking. Ironically, it's funny how we are celebrating WWE highlights and what we were doing with AEW a while back. You know, it's really ironic. You like, I like what you just said. Find your ambition, find the love that you first had when you started the business, and try to bring it back, because honestly, most of your fans are either going back to the indies, they're probably going to go back to WWE, or they're just going to not watch at all.
Yeah, because those three options, like the indies, have better, more entertaining matches.
Oh yeah,
or more skillful people.
My friend who's the Oracle, he loves going to his indie match in
more
Worcester.
more entertaining. WWE, we've seen that, we grew up on that, and it's a standard. And
like rice, chicken, and bean.
And it's just like if they do that, just don't watch it at all and go back to this other options. You got basketball, you got football, baseball.
Football is back. The World Series is about
you
to
have
start.
new movies coming out. So that's other options. Like I feel like make us the same thing that you gave us in the beginning. That's like I could have missed on a Wednesday before it was just one show. I could have missed on a Wednesday because either somebody's gonna show up or something's gonna happen. Give us that again. It's that's the thing you're missing. It's just like that missing X factor. Try to recapture that again.
AEX. Figure out what's that X factor. So this is the Providence Lucha Talk. We have spoke our mind and our feelings on so far one of the two most popular brands in this North American region, alongside with AAA, Impact, and NWA. Please share your thoughts. Let us know what did we miss? Do you agree? Why does my voice sound the way it did during this episode? Because unfortunately, I have the cold. Not COVID. I already tested, but New England for you. Haha. But yeah, ask us those questions on our social media platform, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, as well as the YouTube, as well. Listen to us in your favorite podcast media app. Rank us the 5-star, give it the thumbs up, tell a friend, tell another friend about Providence Lucha Talk and why they should listen. So with that being said, I'm Jay Aguila.
Desvosito.
We said buenas noches and good night.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.